Hi guys, welcome back to MKR Shoots. If you're new here, my name is Monica and I'm a photographer based in New York City. In my channel, we do some film samples, film reviews, and some behind the scenes of my photography gigs. If you're into that, do subscribe. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm just going to be sharing with you why I started shooting film, the pros and the cons, the bad, the ugly, and also if film is right for you. So before I start my list, just a little backstory. I have been a photographer for quite some time now, but as a business, it's just maybe like 2 to 3 years. I have a mirrorless camera. So a mirrorless camera, you can really see a live view of how the photos might look like. I'm not saying that it's easy. I just felt like I needed a challenge. When I was younger, I used, those like point and shoot, like Sony Cybershot. I even tried to use like APS film. They're horrible, and disposable cameras. That's pretty much my experience for film photography since I did not go to photography school. So the pros. That's definitely why I started shooting film. There's always something fun and exciting when you're doing something different and that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And also, like I said, if you never went to photography school like I didn't, film photography will be something new for you. Not just the photography itself, but also developing it. It's just a different experience compared to a digital photography world. It really forced me to be intentional, really plan out the shoot, really be picky, because I only have either 24 exposures or 36 exposures, so I can't just be trigger happy, you know what I'm saying? This is just my opinion because I'm a pretty patient person, but I do find that the process is more enjoyable. If you are not familiar with the exposure triangle or anything like that, even the process of learning these things are very enjoyable for me personally. To each his own, right? There's really no rule book when photography, honestly. Your photos don't have to be sharp. Your photos don't have to be properly exposed. It's really just how you want to shoot it and how you want to present it to the world. I really love the photography of Goldin because I feel like she shoots people as they are in their natural habitat. I love her series of like couples. I think these are like her friends, like, making out in their home with their mess. That is just pure art to me. You can do the same for digital, but I find that film, there's more chances of you experimenting or even just like finding beauty in your mistakes. Think about that. Okay. There are different film stocks that you can use and also film cameras. There's 35mm, there's 120mm, and there's even a large format. I really just feel like there's a lot that you can discover with film photography. Just like in my channel, there's so many film stocks that you can use. There's pre-processed film stocks that can give you tons of colors, tons of shading. Some of them even have like, pre-scratched film. Again, it's not like you cannot do this for a digital photo because you can pile on the filters if you want. There's something so real about shooting film that you really can't take back. Once you shoot it, that's it. Maybe this is just me. I just always get very excited when I get my films developed, like Christmas morning, I guess, when you see the images that you've taken for the first time. I like not seeing the photos right away, especially when I'm shooting people. 9 out of 10 times people will always ask me to look at their photos right after I shoot it. Literally, like right after with film, you can't do that. They just have to trust you. Surprise, mother. Sadly, there's more cons than pros. You get limited exposure, meaning you only get either 24 or 36 images per roll. For 120mm film, it depends on the dimensions. I believe for 6x6 you can get 15 images in a roll. For 6x7 I believe you get 10 images, and 6x5 you get 12. You do get less images, but those images are just hella crispy. It is a con for some people because some people are trigger happy. You better believe it. Sometimes I find it really hard to finish 36 frames. And and some of you that will be a con. You want to see if you're, you know, posing right, if you look okay right away. I totally get it. So my tip, if you do like to see what you look like before you start shooting film, take a photo with your phone before you start shooting film. That's what I do. I would just put a mirror behind the camera or where the photographer is when you're shooting film so you can see yourself posing. This is probably the one thing that really turns people off, is that it's super expensive now. So this Portra 400 box is about $58 and there's 5 rolls in here. I've seen some Kodak Portra 400 film that is like $19 a pop. Damn! Those experimental films that I review, they're about like either $12 to $15 to $16 to $20 a pop. On top of that, developing it, my lab charges $13 per roll to develop and scan. Not even email to me. That's a lot. These are some options that are cheaper, so you can get Kodak Gold like this. This is a pack of 3 rolls. I can even link like an Amazon link. There's also Kodak Ultramax 400 and there's Fuji Superia 400. Developing at home is so expensive as well. Speaking of developing at home, it's very tedious and it requires accuracy and, most important, patience. If you don't care and you want to just eyeball everything, don't even bother, because then you're wasting a roll and waste money.
Stop it. Get some help.
If you want to try film and you have no idea how to do a proper exposure, you should really learn it. If you are serious about being a photographer, get yourself one of these, which is like a point and shoot. The major con for me: film is just not environmentally friendly, period. Not only do you have the plastic, the canister where the film is in, you also have the plastic and the metal that holds the film, and also the film itself. And I'm really hoping that they figured this out, because, you know, now we have like biodegradable, compostable plastics. Like, at least, if not the film itself, just the canister. For you to find a new film camera, everything is going to be like before 2005, which is okay, but there is a chance that you're gonna get something that is not fully functional. It has happened to me. Before you buy your first film camera, you should find someone who can fix them. You can just always go to this person to fix your cameras. Who is film photography for? It's for someone who's looking for something new, a new challenge. Never went to photography school, this is definitely something new for you. If you grew up knowing just your phone camera and your digital camera, this is definitely a new venture that is definitely going to be a challenge. I fell in love with photography again when I started shooting film again. Yeah, I just don't see it stopping. Right now, really, my photography, I'm pushing film more. Just, you know, every time I work with a client, I'll just be like, hey, is it okay if I take a couple of shots with you with my film camera? 100% they will say yes. It's really good practice for you if you've never tried film before. Everything about film is just slow paced. It's very slow, it's very accurate. Figure out the exposure settings and tell your model to sit still so you can focus. Wait for the roll to be developed and scanned. If you're that person, definitely try film. Who can afford a new gear, who can afford getting their films developed in the lab or buying all the films all the time. I'm not mad at it. I do believe, like, in the long run, it's just keeping me inspired and motivated to shoot. And if you've never shot film before, please do not spend an arm and a leg for a camera that you have no idea how to work. I respect the passion, but just don't be foolish.
Brave, but foolish, my old Jedi friend.
There you guys have it. This is just my list, the pros and the cons, and who the film photography world is for. If I miss anything, do jot them down in the comments below. If you agree with them or disagree with them, let's chat about it. I'm definitely curious. I want to know your side of it all. I'm sure I missed some points, but as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. if you're into these kinds of things, you know, film samples, film reviews, behind the scenes of photography gigs, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time.